Hello, everyone. Welcome to our post-American crossword puzzle tournament life. What a time we had. Man, it was so good this year. I was fortunate to serve as an official in the tournament. Had a great time as usual. It was my fourth year helping judge. Um, and it was just especially good this year, if bittersweet, because the tournament is moving to Philadelphia next year, having been founded in 1978 by Will Shorts in Stamford, Connecticut. Had a bit, excuse me, wow. All right, you just saw but didn't hear the last one. Little detour to Brooklyn for a while, back to Stamford. Got so big that it's going to have to move. People are having a hard time even signing up for the tournament. What's up, Instant? What's up, Nora Sharp? Nora Sharp, like me, was at the tournament. And did very well. Nora finishing, I think, in second place in the pairs competition. Well done. Yeah, tournament was just great. And, I did 4 years there as a contestant. And I guess that was high school. And then, some kids take a gap year. I took a gap decade, came back, went to college somewhere different than high school because it was 4 years in Stanford for me, the last four. And now grad school starts in Philly next year. There were so many crossword people there. What a surprise. Wow. A little bit of a rocky start here. Man, sorry about that. Obviously there were a ton of people there, like in the neighborhood of 1,000. It was a tornado of faces, so much fun, bit overwhelming, but in a good way. And I mean, old friends everywhere. It's, as I wrote on Facebook, I think it was sort of a combination marathon, tournament, industry convention, and mostly like a family reunion. I mean, there are people who literally go there socially, which is kind of what I do. I mean, it's great to volunteer, and I enjoy the actual volunteering work, and it's nice to give back. But I go there socially and selfishly because, man, it's just a great time. I was amused that when I got there on Thursday, I'm chatting with a couple of my other volunteers that got there a little early. Everything really kind of kicks off Friday afternoon, evening. But Barbara Lynn, one of my fellow judges, mentioned, yeah, I have today's New York Times crossword. It's like saying today's my birthday. But would you believe that the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday New York Times puzzle writers last weekend were all there at the tournament? It was crazy. And then I started poking around, and it just, I mean, the Saturday Stumper on March 30th, as we turn the corner toward April, was written by the great Doug Peterson, whom I said hi to. Hello, Rose. Good evening to you. Great seeing you at the tournament. As good as you are on the only Connect games that we play here. Great to see you in person as well. And then Jess Rux, the next day, had the Tuesday, March 31st USA Today puzzle. This is just a sampling of the people who published puzzles in the last couple of weeks. Brendan Quigley had a cute one about speed solvers on Thursday, April 9th, the day I got there, the same day as Barbara Lynn. But wait, before that, Kareem Ayaz had the New Yorker on Monday, just during the run up to the tournament. Sam Donaldson had the Sunday the day before. Said hi to him. Tuesday, April 7th, a particularly good day because our friend Selbor, who is a frequent member of the chat box here, he had the New York Times. I'm not sure if it was his first. It might have been. Hope he rolls through here. Maybe we'll set that aside and solve that if he's present tonight. Then aforementioned Kareem Ayas and Amy Walker, whom I also said hi to at the tournament, I think when I was handing out papers. They had the Wednesday. Erica Shung-Wilczyk had the Friday, and I said hi to her on Friday, not knowing that she had the puzzle that day. And then Kareem, who is everywhere lately. We saw his stuff every time I turned around. It's Kareem Ayas. He had the Saturday, and I saw him on Saturday. What a good guy. What a good what that's redundant. Everybody there was great. To celebrate the crossword tournament about which so much could be said, and let's say let's do some crosswords, and in between, and I think there'll probably be a few people in here. We could talk about the tournament as well, But to celebrate the tournament, I thought, why don't we knock out some of these puzzles by our tournament friends? Like, for example, I would like to start easy and get harder. The USA Today Tuesday, March 31, was by Jess Rux, a name that I hadn't seen until fairly recently or hadn't noticed that I had. And now she too is everywhere. And what a cool person. Jess and I and John Lieb of Bosswords. God, who else was there? Nora Sharp, I think you were there. I think, wait, did you? Yeah, did. Man, I'm getting my people mixed up. I think Nora Sharp and Will Eisenberg were there. I think Katya Brink was there. Anyway, we closed the bar on Friday night. It got late and it was so worth it. If I share the screen, then you'll see Jess's puzzle from USA Today. Okay, let's chat while we take a look at this thing. I don't do a ton of USA Today puzzles. My sense is that they're not crazy hard, but welcome in, by the way, lurkers, chatters, see people strolling in here as is typical. Appreciate you all joining. We are celebrating the American CrossFit Puzzle Tournament in all its glory. Man, we had a time. It was, I mean, it's always a good time, but I just had, I mean, maybe the best time there I've ever had this year. Let's see some of our puzzle pals in the chat box. Nora, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what your ride was like through the tournament. I know that you are a very serious solver, and along with Will Eisenberg, you went there with ambitions. And sure enough, I mean, I get that you were probably shooting for that #1 spot, as the Beastie Boys said, but you did really well, and you are to be congratulated. That is one hell of a result. I mean, there were some. I actually started the tournament in a. Is this? I'll wash you. Yeah, there were some super fast people in the pairs room. And Nora, I know you were, you know, I was there. You were in the room that I was in. Last leg or lap. Let's try that. So yeah, the problem was that I wore, you know, being, you know, much like Steve Buscemi with the, you know, holding a skateboard, hello fellow young people meme, whatever the wording is. I was rocking my like green suede Nike skateboard shoes, which I love, except they're not only uncomfortable, they were like squeaky as hell in that small, very quiet room. Nora, I don't know if you noticed my pretty soon disappearance, but it was pretty much because I felt that I was like objectionably making noise to the detriment of those in the room. And so I went up into the main room, and at least it was like less. Did I not say this? Why did I not think it fit? Because I'm talking the whole time. It's worth it. Chet Sellers in the chat, or is it Chat Sellers in the chat? Either way, congratulations to you, Chet Sellers. Wow, big time performance. One of the top rookies, made the C final stage in his rookie voyage. Really good. Also, follow Chet Sellers. I mean, if I do like this, will it work? I don't know. I just threw these. Maybe if I shout out Chet Sellers with an @sign. If it doesn't work, take my word for it. Chet Sellers is a fun streamer. Here we go. I've never shouted out anyone before live. This is all new to me. You know, much like a. Why is this working? I don't know. In another Steve Buscemi-ish way, I don't know how to run the chat box either here. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, Chet did. If you want a good wrap up of the CrossFit tournament, I suggest looking at Chet's stream the other day. I was very impressed, Chet, that you really covered a lot of ground talking about the tournament. Like, I don't know if you were working from notes, but yeah, I was like, wow, if only I could stream like that, because that was a comprehensive and fast summary of all the stuff that happened. And of course, Chet describing his adventure as a solver there. But unfortunately, now you're stuck with me. Let's try salt. Is it a bath? Are we doing bath X bath with the baby thing? Jamaico Jeffries. Yeah, you know, it's so funny, Chet. Everywhere you turned, there I was. I don't know that I was as omnipresent for anybody as I was for you. Let's try this. You know, it's like this and like that, y'all. If I can go back to yet another aged cultural reference. Um, I'll know this when I see it, maybe. Um, yeah, Chet. So Chet Sellers, I love this guy. I only know him like on Twitch. He's hilarious. He does Chet, what do you call it? What's your brand? Two CrossFit every Saturday and Sunday morning. So I see Chet in the lobby as we're getting going. And I'm like, hey man, nice to see you in three living dimensions. And then the next thing I know, I'm bumping into the guy like all over the place. At one point, I'm handing out papers. Chet is in there, and I say to him, Chet, we're not, we judges are not biased, but I am rooting for you. So, good luck. At that time, I didn't even know that he was contending for like rookie honors or C division honors or had like a spot. There was a spot for him at stake, like on the stage. And well, it was true. I just meant I was rooting for you in general, Chet. Little did I know that you were like crushing your way through the tournament. Good for you. And likewise, you, Nora, I knew that you and Will were like contending in that pairs division. Um, I gotta say, it's fun to compete and all. Um, being a judge is where it's at. I could not have had more fun. It was just great. I mean, being a judge, well, I mean, some people like the laid back, grab a marker and grade some papers lifestyle, which is totally legit. Um, and others like me enjoy just kind of bouncing around the ballroom. Um, let's try that. I love seeing all the faces. Humans. Yeah, enjoy that. It's nice to just cruise around. You hand out papers. If you work your way up and down the rows, then it's sort of like everyone's in one place, trapped in their seats instead of, is this? Yes, that's like this, y'all. Jamaica, my cultural references. Fellow Gen Xer, more corny jokes where that came from. Wow, I feel so seen. Thank you, Jess Rux. Jess Rux was great, by the way. Very cool. Enjoyed her company. Enjoyed everyone's, but what am I not seeing? Feel free. Let's call it a yellow light, like this. This one will work. I don't think my shout out worked too well, but that is what a yellow light is. You want to say the answer to anything I've already kind of moved over. I'm not talking about the clues here, but yeah, Jess, frequent publisher of crosswords in her own right, and well, we're proving it because this thing was in the, what is this, USA Today, just like a week before. I met Jess in person. Yeah, Rose, let me try to keep up with the chat. Yeah, it's funny. I haven't even done all the puzzles from the tournament, which is like weird. I'm here all week. Well, am I? I mean, kind of. Are these the Virginia Tech Hokies? I tend to think not. Let's try that. My busy season at work is quickly ramping up, and so I don't feel as though what's going on here? Holiday. Is this related to the holiday of Eid? I'm beginning to wonder if it is. Try that. Yeah, so I'll stream as much as I can in the coming weeks, but I might have to turn down the frequency just a tad. That. Well done, Jess Rux, on this nice puzzle. Enjoyed it. Even as we yak about the tournament. Okay. What of the three things that I have said, should I say? Can't remember. Doesn't matter. There was so much to say. So many fun things happened. I forgot 97% of the stuff that happened within moments of it, of there happening. It's just an overwhelming like tornado. It's a sea of faces. There are so many people that when I started going to the ACPT, there were like 600 or 650 people. That's not a small event, but it's gotten bigger gradually. to the point now where even though we're still in the Stanford, or were until this year, we just are saying goodbye to the Stanford Marriott. It kind of has a homey feel. Like the lobby is at a human scale. It's not some massive like downtown corporate hotel. And it feels like, I don't know if cozy, I think cozy actually works. Homey. It's familiar to us. Some of us have been going there for decades. And it just is like, despite how many people there are swirling around, it is, particularly the lobby is just kind of like, and the small rooms in the basement where there's like breakout games happening now that is fully apart. It's like the National Puzzlers League culture has taken over. People are playing Exquisite Fruit. They're bringing Jeopardy games. They're bringing only Connect games. I think there was actually like a Blood on the Clock Tower game. I mean, I play that here with friends. I never would have dreamed that would happen at the concert tournament. I mean, that when we play it here, that thing goes on for a while. Anyway, it was a lot. Um, but yeah, the lobby is very much the crossroads of the tournament. I mean, some people move on and go out to dinner and don't, um, partake in the late night stuff and the homemade, gamey trivia. We played the celebrity game. Peter Gordon made a celebrity game app for his phone that like died. They're bringing it back. So much fun. Rose, you know what? I don't think Blood on the Clock Tower is for me. I feel like it's my friends who run the game are playing chess with human pieces, and I'm just a mere chess piece, and I'm terrible, terrible at that game. So complicated. My brain is not wired that way. But the good news for me was at the CrossFit tournament, not only did I have other choices, I didn't even know what was happening. Frisco in the chat, a wild Frisco has entered the chat. Frisco, enjoyed you. Frisco is one of my favorite characters in the crossword scene, and his mom was there, and she too is great. Frisco bouncing in and out of Connecticut as he had other commitments, but he was there to the extent he could be. So yeah, with 1,000 faces, it's a sea of faces. I mean, there is not time to look at everybody who's there, much less talk to everybody who's there. It's just a lot. And yet, there you go. Chet Sellers, I'm interested if you're still here, if you're still awake. What your arc was like. I mean, I really learned a lot from watching you stream about it. But from the beginning to the end of the weekend, Chet, for example, did you feel as though you had met a bunch of people? Did you feel yourself being absorbed into this like machine that is the CrossFit tournament? I hope so, and I hope you had fun. All right, all right. Let's bounce to the week of the tournament. Our friend Selbor had the Tuesday, April 7th puzzle, as I was like trying to get a little ahead at the office and get ready to get out of town here. I'm going to set that aside because Selbor might roll in here at some point. Who had the Wednesday, April 8th USA Today? I think that will also be not super tough. You know what? Let's move to the New York Times for a hot minute. All right. We've got time to do both. All right, let's go to the Wednesday, April 8th USA Today. Now, this one is by Kareem Ayas and Amy Walker. Amy had just done a collab in the New York Times. It was really good. I think, if I'm remembering right, I think maybe it was like with Jess Schulman, who was also there and who was also like a great person, and whom I met a year earlier as we sat next to each other playing Only Connect. Anyway, so it was just everywhere you turn, there was somebody who not only is a crossword writer, but who was like publishing crosswords at the time, like this one here. Let's turn the timer on, see what happens. I'm going to take a breath for a hot minute. Talk amongst yourselves, chat. I'll give you a suggested topic, a la New York Times cryptogram. That one, I don't even think I submitted that one yet, or maybe I can't remember. I don't think that one ever hit the newspaper, but wow. Typos in a 3-character thing. All right. Anyway, you get it. I loaded a boatload of cryptograms into this stream elements that I only just started using after streaming for like, I don't know, what's it been, 4 or 5 years. I started during COVID. I'm gonna take a hot, I'm gonna catch my breath for a second. I would be interested to hear what thoughts anybody has in the chat box about the tournament. I have many, I assure you. Maybe there are like miscellaneous specific anecdotes that really like are stuck in my head, but it's just I mean, hey, what's up? Hey, oh my God, how have you been? Oh my God, I saw blah blah. So and so says hi. I saw your puzzle. Congratulations on your baby. I mean, there's like all the stuff happening, and it's just like electrons bouncing. Do electrons bounce? Do they dream of electric sheep? I don't know the answer to these science questions. But yeah, it was like balls bouncing around a lotto machine. It's just nonstop. And when I first went to the tournament in 2009, I didn't know anyone. I literally knew no one, I think, if I remember right, that year. And as I walked into the lobby of the Brooklyn Bridge Marriott, and I don't know what that is, but maybe if we go like that, mm, that's that. What is this? Somebody here is going to know this, and I'll tell you who doesn't. Me, Unk. Let's try that. This, 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 that. It's like this and like that, y'all. You hear me, Jamaico. Something here wrong. I don't get this. Yeah, so it's just you get absorbed into the machine. I, gradually got to know more people. Joining the National Puzzlers League is really what did it for me, which happened like a year after my first one. And that really, it was like kind of the gasoline in the fire. That and like Facebook and the socials. But yeah, but now it's like now I'm one of those people. Hot girl summer, no wonder this is wrong. Look at these crosses. This might be right. Team rally. What did I do wrong? That is what I did wrong. Somehow I was convinced that you could put a mat into your glove compartment, not so much. Um, yeah, so now I'm one of those people. And Chet, you are going to quickly become one of those people, I assure you. If you keep coming back. I understand that you had quite a lengthy drive. Who else was there? Who's in the chat? Welcome, chatters, lurkers. Rose Sloan, if you're still awake, how was your tournament? Did you have a good time? Certainly enjoyed playing. Did we play Only Connect together? I think we did. You had a direct flight. Oh, I see. You drove because I guess you chose not to fly to New York City. Prince Eric, what a fun and interesting guy he was. Yeah, so Chet, an option would have been to bounce from LaGuardia over to 125th Street and take an express train up in a mere 40 minutes. Your mileage may vary, but I found that to be a very convenient way to get there. What is this? Oh, let's try this, and this. Anyway, Chet, it's moot. How was your drive? Yeah, so next year in Philadelphia, I'm a little wary of the move. Is it cross New York heart? With the right attitude, it can be. Um, don't have it. Let's try this and that and that. Um, so yeah, I feel change is inevitable, and they say it's good to move every 10 years. It's been more than that. Although I guess there was that bounce down to Brooklyn and back. But I can't help but wonder if it's not going to have like the same feel physically. The spirit of the event will certainly survive the move, however. Why can't I spit it out? No, I have a friend who this is this. I have a friend who like brought a Go game to when we had lunch together recently, and I was like, really? I mean, he's kind of like a really good tennis player. I don't think of him as like a Go type guy, but anyway, that happened. What's this? Keep Austin weird. Well, keep the ACPT weird. I mean, I don't know if weird is quite the right word, but yeah, I mean, so apparently, Ben Zimmer tells me that I mean, he's clearly right because like 400 plus people are on the wait list. Like apparently this thing could have been 1,500 people this year if everybody got in who wanted to get in. So I mean, turning people away is a drag, and of course, nobody wants to see people not get to play who want to play. Having said that, is this? Why can't I understand this? Ah, I see the answer to this. So yeah, but if it like doubles in size overnight, that would be crazy. Jamaica, it is once a year, although there are a great many crossword tournaments these days. Like, um, it's becoming like this whole ecosystem. I mean, you got your Nora Sharp, Rose. Anybody feel like throwing a few links into the chat? Hello, Zamaj. How are you? We are celebrating the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament, a gigantic success this past weekend. Yes, if Nora is still on the Sharp, Nora Sharp is a co-founder of the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament, along with our friend Sally Holscher, who was in from Iowa for the tournament. I forget it. Iowa City. Am I mixing her up with Christina Iverson? Don't know. But her husband Randy was there. Guy's so great, hilarious, great couple. Really enjoyed them. Let's do this, this, this. Well, I guess we should read the clue. Niles, got it. And this would be Islam and oh, is that Taylor Swift's Lover era? I think so, fellow children. Yeah, all right, I'll throw a few links into the chat. Okay, so yeah, Lollapuzzoola, Rose. You got your Midwest Grid Fest. That's in the first week of October in Chicago. You got Boss Words. They will be doing a thing live in Boston. Their Crossword Puzzle Spring League is happening. You can play that. It's not too late to join and catch up. There's a new themeless puzzle every week. Their stuff's really great. You can choose between easy, medium, and hard clues. Then, if you feel like being in California in June, or maybe you're already there, there's a tournament called Westwards. Is it dot? The first year of Westwards, it was on my birthday, and I can't help but be a little bummed that it hasn't been on my birthday every year. Yeah, so that's in like the Bay Area in like mid-June, mid to late June, I want to say. Rose, I was actually thinking about bouncing out to Boston for the first time. So many puzzle pals live out there, and like pals from earlier in life, like high school friends, law school friends. I had the exact wrong attitude. Like when I learned of Boswords, I was like, why would I want to go to Boston just to play a crossword event that lasts for a few hours? No, it's perfect. Go to Boston, take a 3-4 day weekend, have fun if you're able, get away from work, and then, see the crossword peeps at the crossword thing, maybe grab dinner after, God forbid, have a little fun. Anyway, so I've never been there, and it would be fun to join those folks there. We'll see if that happens. Westwards would be fun too. I don't think that's happening for me this year. If I free up by mid to late June, mid-June particularly, it'd be a little aggressive, but I would love to go to, if not Wimbledon, then like the Queen's Club or like Wimbledon warm-up tournament. Rose, I hear good things. No, of course, I've been to Boston and loved it. Great city. All right, let's see. Whose was that we just did? I'm like, we just did that. Was that Kareem and Amy's USA Today? Am I imagining that it was? I guess it probably was. So I get to Stamford, Connecticut on Thursday, which is on the early side. This is my 4th year judging the tournament or volunteering as a tournament judge. And I've only ever gone there like on Friday. Like I generally go to New York on Thursday, but like a couple times went to a thing with some CrossFit friends Thursday night, or maybe like a Broadway show or a trip to the Comedy Cellar or whatever, have dinner with a friend who lives in New York. I've certainly done that. Ben Zimmer, what is happening, Benjamin? We're talking ACPT, shockingly. Oh, wait, was that Wednesday? Oh, that was at the beginning of April. Got it. Yeah, so we got a bunch of tournament goers in the chat box, a bunch of curious, what was this tournament like folks in the chat box. I am really not doing the great job that our friend Chet Sellers did in his stream. He really broke it down and really like talked fast and um didn't try to do crosswords while he talked about it. In fact, we can do that right now. I mean, we've got so many people here. Um, but it was this year was a little different. So after 3 years in a row of going up there on Friday and essentially walking into a lobby full of or even early afternoon, a lobby with a bunch of people in it that gets increasingly busy, and then just we have our Friday night judges dinner and we hit the gas and everything goes nuts. I said, I would prefer a slower ramp up and Chet, I'm taking a page from your book. Let's just chat for a minute. Um, so I get there Thursday, like early afternoon. And there's a few puzzle pals in the lobby. I had not signed up to volunteer on Thursday night. Not all the judges are there Thursday. I would say maybe a couple dozen because there are like nearly 1,000 competitors who need folders with their name tags in them and all kinds of paperwork. And judges essentially stuff those folders. That's like the big volunteer job that's needed Thursday night. And although I hadn't told tournament coordinator Michael Smith that I was going to do that, I decided to do it. Anyway, I ran into him and I was going to surprise him by walking into the volunteering session. Well, I surprised him a couple hours earlier by saying, "Hello, Michael, I'm here to help." And he asked me if I wanted salad or pizza for dinner. Ended up having both, as did most of us, or many of us. And then promptly took a nap and I emerged refreshed. And who was there? Oh, only some of the greats. Dare I name drop? Why not? Everybody wants to hear what happened over the weekend. Next thing I know, I'm sitting at a table in the hallway outside the completely empty ballroom. I got Ben Zimmer and Brendan Emmett Quigley on my right. I got Jen Yuan on my left. She doesn't have the highest profile, but she's awesome, and she was only volunteering for the 18th time. Then you got your Tracy Bennett, best known for Wordle, but a New York Times crossword editor, her two sisters, Robin Weintraub, Ben fill in the blanks here. Who am I forgetting? It was just hot and cold running great people. Samaj, if I'm up for level 51, I'm not sure. Are we talking about what's that Ben Zimmer's favorite group and song, level 42, something about you? Not sure I'm familiar with level 51, and I literally have a whole list of tournament people who like just made puzzles even during the week of the tournament, including 3 straight days of the tournament weekend, which is just like crazy. So yeah, so we stuffed the heck out of those folders, and the work was totally mindless, and it was exactly what I wanted when I went there. It was just more time with my puzzle pals. I mean, Ben and Robin are two of my best friends in puzzle circles. Our friend Sid is right there, and he I think was there maybe the next day. But it was great and had a great time. Dinner was great. And next thing I knew, we're in the bar hanging out, and gradually puzzle friends are walking in. This is Thursday night, so the people who were there early. And even that was a great hang. I mean, it didn't matter that there weren't 1,000 people there or 100 people there. There were whatever it was, 30 or 40 people there. Um, a guy whose puzzle, I don't remember level 51 by name. Does he live in Area 51? Well, I'm sure his puzzle was great if I streamed it here. Let's put a pin in that, Samaj. Maybe not tonight. Anyway, so that was Thursday. I tell you what, let's bang out another one and then we'll sort of return to our narrative. My narrative doesn't feel a lot like a narrative. Zamaj, I'm sure I would know it if you were there. I'm a little mixed up. We've had so many internationals rolling through here lately, which has been so much fun. But Samaj, are you in the US even? Are you in the UK? Tell us or don't, as you prefer. Anyways, I mentioned earlier, well, people keep rolling in here. So even as I arrived in the lobby on Thursday and said hi to a few people, one of those people was Barbara Lynn, who she had that day's Thursday, whatever this is, April 9th, New York Times crossword. And it's like, wow, congratulations. It's just like, but if it hadn't been Barbara, it could have been anyone else in the mix there. There were dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of New York Times puzzle constructors. Anyway, so it was like bumping into a friend like on their birthday. So Barbara Lynn, I mean, of course, this being a Thursday, I'm sure you've got me set up for a nice face plant in front of all these great people. But with that said, let's stick with a yellow light. And Zamaj, New Jersey, were you at the tournament? I guess that's really what I'm driving at. Like, were you conceivably a tournament player? Yeah, Barbara Lynn, super nice. What a great lady. Totally like quiet and unassuming. She's like my total, she's tall, quiet, and unassuming, my near opposite. I'm tall, loud, and assuming. But yeah, Barb, it was kind of neat. Barb, I mean, I forget. She was very steady. She's got like, or whatever. I'm sure Ben Zimmer's already looking it up even before I say it. But I think Barb has like one or two crosswords a year for many years running or something. I might be remembering that wrong. But in any case, great crossword writer. I've always enjoyed her work. Let's see how we do. I'm going to take a, I'm going to take a breath for a hot minute and see how this thing goes. I feel like the grids, I can't get the grid to be the right size. Anyway, um, I could sit here for 10 minutes and try to figure this out. Is it 26? Is it 16? I'm gonna go with El Ocho. Selbor, we were just talking about you. Selbor, I mean, is this, I mean, go public? Would people say go pub? Don't know. Selbor, congratulations to you. I see that you wrote the, no, Selbor, I was just poking around saying, oh my God, look at all the people who had New York Times um, crosswords last week, and you are one of them. Like, good for you. And, you know, as I work my way through this week of crosswords, I would have done yours already because you had the Tuesday. But no, but you're here now. We can do it next if you want. Or, why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Selbor, in the chat? Is this your first New York Times crossword, for example? I know that we've solved some of your puzzles here. We did your ABCX. Was it LA Times, Universal? I forget. Let's try this. And Silver, what was your experience like? I mean, let's pause the ACPT chat. Kind of exciting. If I'm right that it was your first New York Times, was it like, had you submitted many of them? Was this one that you thought had a particularly good chance of getting in? Answer or not, as you prefer. What's with the circles, Barb? What's with the like Y and what is that? Something shape? Not seeing it. It's this guy. Interesting. Quite a life for our rolled opposite. It's lovable with an E. I think it is. Is this a tart? It's clearly this. Go IPO. Really? Do people say that? Apparently they do. This does upside down cake fit into these? Exactly, Zamaj. It's like a snowman walking a junior snowman across the street. I want this to be Estee Lauder in, well, the problems with that include that this is 10 letters and that it clearly is not right. An ascot, perhaps. Cake. It appears not to be. This really feels like this. Is this a K? It is. Akron. Akron is all about LeBron and tires. Is that? It's about all I know about Akron. Except, I don't know, on a bad day, maybe it's accurate. I don't know. Ben Zimmer, I would be interested in what deep thoughts you might have. Ben Zimmer and I and our friend Jason played our Connections League game last night, and we got a hard lesson in what it takes to win. Ooh, how about this? What is this? I mean, I just don't see this. I'm looking away from the chat for a hot minute 'cause I want to try to figure this out. Is this wrong also? It could be. So All right, there's some kind of, oh, upside down cake. Nice one. Barb, you win this round. Um, art teacher. This is clearly a K. Um, don't have it. Don't have it. PCH, what does it go across? Oh, I don't know, in 6 letters. I guess it's not Encino. East LA, not this time. Salinas Valley. Let's try this. As Malibu, or as I like to call it, the Boo. Okay, this is like a turtle pie, something going up. Hmm. Oh, a turnover. Why is this 9 letters? Everybody but me here not only sees the answers and are shaking their heads sadly, but we are spelling it like this, but also has probably done this puzzle. But you know, I gotta live in the world I live in. This is what? Are they all upside down? Pineapple cake ends in an upside down. It's quite seeing it yet. This, that. We don't have circles for the upside down cake and pineapple upside down cake. This I like a lot, not only to eat, but I like the clue. Oh, apple turnover. Got it. Okay. All right. So each of them is like the phrase is telling me to turn it over. It's almost cryptic like. Speck in the sea. What would you know about that, Selwar? Let me get to, oh, Selwar, I think. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Bottom. Okay. Rose, you stayed in Akron. Strip malls and chain restaurants. Hashtag America. Don't you love going to a city you've never been to and like there's a Best Western and a Popeyes fried chicken and a Five Guys? It kind of makes you feel like, well, I think you know. Celebrate, you submitted like 4 before when you didn't know what you were doing. Okay. Cross court helped. It's nice to hear. You would have greeted differently. You made it. Well, you got it. The New York Times bought it. I mean, good for you. That's you can't do better than that. Good for you. Don't know. Is this not an asana? Is this like a liana? Is that the name of an asana? Don't know. Ah, so this could be this. This could be this, except it isn't. Really? We're doing this? Oh, Umbra. Okay, that's legit. Got it. And yet I am not wild about this. Um, there's a gigantic lack of vowels here. Well, anyway, Selvar, congratulations. That's really cool that you got a New York Times crossword. Is it your first? I guess that's what I was. I want this to be like a crumble. Is that? Oh, I forgot that there's letters. Got it. Okay. I forgot that there's circles over here. Got it. All right. Some sort of what, like berry, like blueberry? Maybe is this a B? I think it might be. Lisa Lowe, Ben Zimmer's favorite recording artist. Where were we just? Did somebody like showed a picture of themselves with Lisa Lowe with the tournament? Man, I feel like there are so many miscellaneous anecdotes that we could throw around. Um, Tournament related. Um, Vowel. You know, Ben Zimmer and I are unimpeachable, but I heard that there was a tournament judge in the alley who was like willing to take $10,000 for a consonant, and I thought that was so uncool. that. Oh, this, this could be that. Looks like it is because that's that. All right, what is this? Going up, Los Lobos, Ben Zimmer's favorite band. Dessert in a boat, how interesting. Zamaj, not my first rodeo. Actually, that was a New York Times cryptogram. It was something like, "This ain't my first rodeo," I mumbled the second night I roped a steer before a paying crowd. Hilarious. I've got over 100 of these loaded in here now. The other night, like I just, after like 4 or 5 years of streaming, I just set up Stream Elements for the first time, like where you like give it commands and it says like things that you've commanded it to say. Like for example, right now, how we're on a yellow light, which we are. Anything I don't solve, feel free to mop it up for me. But yeah, anyway, I already lost my train of thought. What were we yammering about? You guys were politely listening to the yammering. This is, I want it to be an orphan on a firehouse step. Now I want this to be an idol, and I think that is wrong. I think this. All right, so if this is, oh, banana split, and oh, the LIT is split. Man, that's so good, Barb. Very good. Well done. Do you spell it like that? You are so naive. Is this a noodle bowl, maybe? A-Rod, y'all. Okay, anyway, Barb, nice one. And oh, not done. Now we're done. I would like to think that would have been a little faster if I hadn't been babbling at y'all, but I know that everybody here, or like many people here, are like regular New York Times solvers. So I figured we could celebrate the tournament and our friends who wrote so many of these puzzles by yakking about the tournament. Although I'm finding that a little hard to do while we solve. Let me tell one or two stories about the tournament. So I am in the habit of solving the hard stuff, like indulging my desire to solve the really hard tournament puzzles, like before they're all over and people are talking about them. And so I did that. I do that every year with Puzzle 5, which is notoriously the super, super hard puzzle in the crossword tournament. So our friend Robin, who has become, and rightfully so, an every year writer of a tournament puzzle. Robin had Puzzle 5 this year, which is not her usual like vibe. Robin usually does very solvable, very smooth, and like high level New York Times Friday crosswords. Maybe it's generational, or maybe it's like her style, but I always seem to be in her wavelength. I seem to go quickly when I do her puzzles in general. But this time, Robin took the gloves off and wrote a puzzle 5 that gave a lot of people trouble. And again, not my first rodeo. The upper left of this thing was particularly brutal. Happily, I started at the bottom of the grid and I kind of got going. And there's like no spoilers here, but if you don't see what's happening in this puzzle, it's really hard, as is typical of a puzzle 5. There's some sort of a theme or some sort of a trick or a gimmick or a secret that once you solve that, you can really start making progress. And that is what happened to me, because in the bottom of the puzzle, I fairly quickly saw what was going on, and then I was able to hit the gas and solve that thing in, well, let's just say that when I finished, the rock stars were already on their second cigarette out in the lobby. No, that's not. No. What's the proper metaphor? They had already been yakking it up for a while when I finished, but most of the people in the room were still hard at work. Some of them, many of them, never to finish. So that is kind of a nice concession for me. I'm not a superstar speed solver, but I can knock out puzzle 5, and I'm not like abrogating my judge duties because not too many hands are going up. The judges are like circulating, walking around the ballroom. Ben Zimmer, I think Ben did a lot of paper grading, or like Tracy Bennett. Some of the judges are upstairs grading papers on our judging floor. Others are collecting papers in small rooms, like the pairs rooms, or that we have a downstairs ballroom with like 120 people or something. And then the huge ballroom with like 500 or 600 people in it, or more. Um, there's a gigantic countdown clock. So every full minute that you don't use, you get more points for. So if everyone's solving, and then, if it's a 30-minute puzzle and you're done in 24 minutes and 30 seconds, you raise your hand, a judge hustles over and writes down 24, because that the number of correct answers you have and the number of minutes that you've used are the two determinants of your score in the tournament. So anyway, I finished puzzle 5 and it was great. Congratulated Robin. Robin was there. Robin and I were in the ballroom together for the great majority of the tournament. I had talked to her about it in advance. I don't think we're supposed to know who wrote what puzzle, but I don't know if someone told me, whatever. I knew Robin was the writer of that. She was, I think, a little apprehensive, hoping it went well. And so she didn't want me to tell people that she had written it, and so I did not. And anyway, it went great in the sense that it destroyed everyone. And that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to, so many of the puzzles are very solvable, and particularly by people who are fast. They're totally bunched up. Even though the Rockstar solvers aren't really slowed down that much by puzzle 5, they're still going to crush it. And they're bunched up, literally like tied or within a minute or two of each other by the end, like the super elite. Most of the field gets spread over, I don't know, like either over a range or over a curve, because the scores range very widely on puzzle 5. And that's what it's meant to do, distribute everybody. Samaj is no, I don't think so. Samaj, I don't. It's funny that Robin's puzzle was so grindingly difficult to the upper left, and I say I'm lucky I started elsewhere, because if I started at that upper left and I thought the whole puzzle was that hard, it would have been pretty depressing. But the good news is, while I was cruising along, not fast, but steadily, and then I got to the upper left, and that thing took me like 3 minutes maybe, which compared to the pace for the rest of the grid was like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes, somewhere in there. It was I staggered across the finish line. But all props to Robin. That puzzle was great. Actually, I haven't even done most of the puzzles yet or seen them. I wasn't creating papers. I was just collecting them and looking at the backs of like people's papers and writing down their times. So I did puzzle 5. I did puzzle 7, the Sunday morning puzzle. And then I did the finals puzzle. I sit with Ben Zimmer usually, and the last few years, certainly, in the finals, which is a whole story unto itself. Let me tell you something that I found amusing. Oh, I was solving the Sunday morning puzzle, and aforementioned Robin, being a puckish pal of mine, like, I'm sitting on the floor in front of the ballroom. There's not seating for the judges, and there shouldn't be, because the seating should be for the players. But sometimes when they hand the puzzles out, some of the judges, at least a few of us like to solve. So I didn't bother with like the easy ones. But anyway, the big Sunday one, same deal. I wanted to just knock it out. My buddy Sam Izersky wrote it, also my editor at the New York Times, for the stuff I write. And Sam and Joel Faliano, I don't know if those guys alternate, but they each are regular tournament puzzle writers. Sam wrote the Sunday. So Sunday morning, there's a Sunday sized puzzle. There are 3 Saturday morning, 3 more Saturday afternoon. So Sam wrote the Sunday one. It was really good. No surprise there. And so I'm like sitting on the floor, like just solving with, I don't know, like I didn't even have a folder, whatever, maybe like a cardboard, thing from when we handed out papers the day before or whatever. So I'm solving, and someone kind of like wanders over. People are just kind of milling around waiting for people to solve. So I'm solving this thing, and someone kind of inadvertently like stands in my light, like there are these overhead, as is typical in a hotel ballroom, there's these sort of spotlights, and my paper goes like slightly dim. And I'm like, I'm trying to solve this Sam Izersky puzzle, and I look up, who's blocking my light? Sam Izersky was the guy blocking my light. I'm like, Sam, you didn't throw enough tricks into this thing. You're not giving me enough of a hard time that you gotta like, you gotta physically block me. Of course, he didn't even know what was happening. Got some quality time in with Sam this weekend. We talked about our work at the paper. Actually, check it out on YouTube. Sam did an interview with AJ Jacobs and maybe Greg Pliska about his process writing the spelling bee, or how he creates the puzzles, the word list, like how a computer script helped. I mean, he starts with the pangrams. The whole thing was super interesting. It's on YouTube. If Ben Zimmer's still awake, I'm sure he's putting a link into the chat, or just like search for the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament in the in YouTube, and you'll find it. Among its other impressive facets is that the puzzle tournament is live streamed all weekend. I mean, there's like live interviews happening all day. There are multiple cameras set up around the room. There's one. There's well, anyway, there's a few of them, and also I think the countdown timer is shown on the screen. You can hear everything Will Short says. There's entertainment and games Friday night, Saturday. That's all. I was getting texts from people saying like, "Hey, I can see you on the camera." Well, yeah, it's because Sid, our buddy Sid, and I were hanging out. Like we happened to be in front of the camera. I didn't even know it was on. I mean, I didn't know like what they were, if they were streaming Friday night. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised that they were. Um, there's a camera like right in front of Will Shortz, maybe 15 or 20 feet in front of that podium. Apparently, I was in front of that thing at some point. I spent most of my time behind it because the aisle is much longer behind it. But anyway, we're all like milling around the room or drifting around the room, moving around the room when people are solving. All right. Well, speaking of solving, I think we just knocked out whose was it? Oh, Selbor. We got a Selbor's puzzle. Tell you what, Selbor, I usually would like speed solve it Tuesday, but well, if it's Tuesday, it's probably not crazy hard. Let me share the screen and tell you what, I will go fast. I'm talking so much that I'm not exactly making tracks here. Selvar, I tell you what, I will try to go fast, and then instead of like bouncing quickly away, you can tell us a little more about your crossword. For a hot minute, I am going to not look at the chat box. Selbor, or do we dare reveal to the world that you are in fact Clark Kent? No. Selbor is backwards Robles. Adriel Robles Ojeda Selbor, take a bow. Very cool. Very happy for you on your NYT debut. That's awesome. In fact, let's leave your name on the screen. You deserve it. All right. I am going to turn off this light in my face. And Selbor, go easy on me. Don't embarrass me in front of everybody. Um, Wait, and before I turn away from the chat, your one across clue got changed in editing. Oh, that means that well, it's pretty typical of crossword writers to put in something in like one across that they particularly like, or is like cute or meant to be like a signature like entry in the grid. So I'm sorry about that. I think like on average, like 50% of the clues get rewritten, which is crazy, but I mean, as is not uncommon. I think crossword editors like typically need to um, change the difficulty level at a minimum, but also maybe clean up the syntax or change for style reasons or whatever. Anyway, with that said, take a breath. Selbor, let's see, this thing's a Tuesday. I'm going to set a goal for myself. I'm going to say 4 minutes and 25 seconds in honor of, no, what's today, April 15th? I'm going to say, did everyone pay their taxes? Did everyone but the president pay their taxes? April 15th. All right, 4:15. That's my goal. I'll be right back. Oh, maybe this, that, and that. Hmm. Quit slowing me down, Selbo. I'm trying to go fast. I thought this was this. I was right. And it's landlocked. So there. Oh, take N L. Yep. Can't see that for some reason. That's not good. That's wrong. Is it Marie Eclair? In my perfect world, it is. I don't. I'll look at the clue more in a hot sec. That's Kevlar, of course. And this and that and this and like that, y'all. All right, Selbor, take a bow. Really good puzzle. I know I wasn't exactly wallowing in your theme, but let's do that now. All right, we beat our goal. Hey, March 29th. Were we just talking about our friends who had late March puzzles? Okay, Selbor, let's get back to this ball and chain thing. Okay, ball and chain. Exercise ball and bike chain. Like that. Fastball, chain food, beach ball, chain hotel, black ball, key chain. Really good. Selbor, really good. The first time I did one of yours on here, that 15X, it was, I forget specifically, there was a cool, it was like this. It was like a double theme of some sort. And so great job. What can I say? Deserving of being bought by the New York Times, and it was. It all worked out. Cross you off my list. Yeah. Well done, Silver. Let's turn the camera off for or the share off for a hot sec. Nora Sharp was in here, as was Ben Zimmer. We did Barb Lynn's puzzle. I've done Selbor's. So on Friday of the tournament, people really started pouring in. Ben Zimmer and I have the luxury of enjoying the, let's face it, white glove treatment they give the judges. It is pretty great. For among other things, like all of our meals are like we have Friday night judges dinner and Saturday lunch and dinner and this beautiful brunch on Sunday morning. I remember how good the food was Saturday night last year. It was the same menu. I was delighted. It was really good. Where were we? Oh, Friday. So yeah, so people start pouring in. Different, I experienced the tournament very differently from the way a lot of people do. First of all, for all the tournament players, they're all worried about going fast and what pencil they want to use and what their strategy is, or they whatever. It's a lot like a marathon. There's only like a dozen or a couple dozen people that are really contending for any kind of like serious elite finish, but there are tons and tons of people in it. They might be doing it just for once in their lives to check it out. They might do it like with a family member or in memory of a family member. It might be a mother-daughter. It might be two brothers. It might be two besties. Maybe somebody's trying to finish in the top 200 or in the top 50, or they're just trying to finish all of the puzzles before time runs out, whether or not they have right answers. Or maybe they're trying to get through the whole tournament with no wrong answers. Or maybe they're just there for kicks and they don't really care. There's room for everybody, and everybody is there doing their thing. And they're probably keeping an eye on the standings because, oh, look, I was in 410th place, but now I'm in 360th place. I did not look at the scoreboard once the entire weekend. I had no idea who was like leading, who was doing well, who wasn't. Well, I mean, much attention is focused on like the ultra elite, like who's going to be like which three are going to be on the A like final stage. Samaj, no worries. Thanks for joining. Give my regards to New Jersey. Samaj, you're even closer to Philly, I'm guessing, unless you're like just outside of New York. Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see you in Philly next year. Or not, but appreciate seeing you here. Have a good night. So people really start pouring in there like Friday afternoon, and then they peel off and go to dinner wherever. There's a lot of local restaurants. I've never been to any of them because I've only ever been a judge in Stanford. Well, one of the friends I ran into on Friday night is Erica Shung Wojcik, if I'm pronouncing that right. And I think slash hope maybe I am. Well, I ran into Erica on Friday night and I just talked to her just for a minute. We have mutual friends. And anyway, it didn't come up. But would you believe Erica had the Friday? Well, she did. So for the second day in a row, I'm like saying hi to a puzzle friend who had at this puzzle tournament who had that day's New York Times crossword. It's so crazy. Hey, Nesberg, what's up? So it really was. It's like on the day of it's like, hey, happy birthday. It's your big day. But it was in a crosswordy kind of way. Let me share this screen again. Whoop. Whoop. The mistake was that I thought I had made a mistake. Wow. Man, this is the Zoom version of a typo. All right, Erica, what do you got for us? Nesberg, exactly. You know me so well. Nesberg, glad to see you back on Twitch. We are celebrating the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament, which was this past weekend in Stamford, Connecticut. Many of us enjoyed. There were like 1,000 people there. I was a tournament official, as was our friend Ben Zimmer, who at least was, if he's not still floating around here. Other friends of ours, like Nora Sharp, were at the tournament doing their thing, competing. We have others here who like didn't even know that. Wow, it's so ridiculous. I'm looking at my phone for a hot minute and I'm getting a text from somebody who's got tomorrow's New York Times crossword. It's probably already up on their website, which is like crazy, but it's like it's a crossword like explosion happening all over the place here. Even on Twitch. I mean, it's like it's already Wednesday. Like our friend Dan Schwartz did the catch up thing in his stream. I see others are streaming about the tournament right now. Anyway, I'm gonna turn off the yep. Ben posted a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna turn off the chat box for a hot minute. I want to try to bang out Erica's puzzle. Circle back to you guys in 1 sec. Yeah, Ben, I'm very rarely in the habit of looking at other people's streams that are happening live while I'm streaming. But had I known that Nora and Will were going to be doing that, I don't know, maybe I would have started earlier or would have, done it tomorrow. But there's only so many minutes in the week, and evenings are easier than daytimes for people. It's whatever. I take no offense as people float around, and I was glad to see Nora in here a minute ago. Okay, I'm going to quickly knock out this puzzle by our friend Erica, and then we'll return to our yakking about the puzzle. Okay, here we go. Wow, just 15. I like that. No, that could be this. No reply, y'all. That's Zimmer's favorite song. Shamat, checkmate. The king is dead. Could be. Nope. Yep. CSF. And I quote, why would that be in dig? Hmm. Yes. Huh. No, anything but that. He was great in that movie. Digress. Who would ever do that here? Not me. We seen this clue? Ugh. Yeah, yeah, it's not going to help at all. Oh, Onse, nice one. Uh, Erica. Loyd. Yeah, yeah. Life is short. Do I look for? Oh man, I would have really crushed this Friday. Let's check the grid. Doesn't really count. Oh man, it was merely a typo. I wasn't wrong. I was just all right. We'll take it. Wow, that was among my faster Fridays ever. Jesus. Indulge me, won't you? I haven't gone that fast on a Friday in a while. At least one of these numbers is wrong. Like I think somebody using my account here. Yeah, this is not right. I never did a Wednesday that fast. Best Friday 414. All right. Well, anyway, this was way at the top of my range. Nice one, Erica. And great seeing you, by the way. Erica, a brilliant professor when she's not doing crossword stuff. Yeah, that was good. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that the New York Times Friday is as tough as it used to be. Let's face it, it isn't. But it feels good to go fast for a change. What else? What else is okay? So that was Friday night. Oh, so Friday night at the crossword tournament um, is like a games and puzzles, kind of like a little bit of an appetizer. Doesn't count toward the tournament. So it usually, pretty much usually more or less everybody who's playing the tournament is there. Not maybe everybody. Maybe there are locals who just kind of come over on Saturday, or people who are still traveling or whatever. But the ballroom's basically full on Friday night. Will Shorts presented a very fun like geography game where he split the room into the left and right halves, and the room was essentially two gigantic teams, and the questions were quite hard. So raise your hand when you know it, kind of a deal. And it was a lot of fun, and that took I don't know maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Then we handed out puzzles to everyone in the room, four of them. We finally got smart on the old judging side of things by having them collated. Like we had a red piece of paper and then four unique, distinct puzzles, and then red, and then four, da da da. Instead of like somebody with a stack of 200 puzzle B, and way in the far corner is the guy with puzzle C or the woman with puzzle A. So, even after these many years, we're always getting tuning things up just a little more. Anyway, ready, set, go, solve whichever puzzle you want. Bang, in like a minute and a half, the great Paulo Pasco has solved the first puzzle. Whereupon he turned to a different puzzle and also finished that one first before anyone else in the room had finished anything. He has skills. In fact, I was sitting on the side of the stage, helping like organize the puzzles as they came in, as people, the judges were collecting them. And it was like being a fly in the wall of the College of Cardinals as Will Shorts and Wall Street Journal puzzle editor Mike Shank were trying to decide whether to give Paulo two first place like awards or trophies or whatever, or whether to say you may win only one category and like spread it around to four people, which I don't even know. I think maybe is what they did. Anyway, so that was fun, paper puzzles, and so that was that. But the night was hardly over when we put that thing to bed. Oh, and um, so it's like the fastest in each on each puzzle like wins an award. I don't know if it's the one fastest or second fastest, and maybe the fastest or fastest two or three. I'm not sure how they did it. And then it was everybody who like turned their paper in was put in a random um like had a random chance to win a prize or to I don't know even what honestly what the prize even was. Maybe you win like a book or a tchotchke of some sort. I honestly don't know. So um the puzzles were raining down on us at the front. It was like all we could do to like sort them into four piles. And it's like it's almost over and we got to pick winners. And it's like, all right, somebody's mixing them up here. You pick one. Oh, wait, this one is only half filled in. So it was a bit of a cluster trying to pick the winners. At one point, I mean, um, at one point I looked down and my friend Jeff Slutsky, his name is on the top puzzle. Obviously, I was never going to pick his name or any name that I'm looking at. I want it to be random. So, but I'm like, all right, Jeff, maybe I'll pick you randomly. So I like mix up the papers, like trying to shuffle awkwardly like a deck of cards, this pile of papers. And I close my eyes and I turn away and I grab a piece of paper. Max Kurzman, another another puzzle pal. I mean, there's enough of them in the room. It was the odds of that happening were pretty small. I mean, there are hundreds of people. I certainly don't know. But we were doing it some kind of way. I was fanning them out like a deck of cards and letting the people in the front row pick the winners. Judges were picking winners. Anyway, that all wrapped up. But you know, much like at a National Puzzlers League convention, the fun started then as people started. Well, first of all, people were getting their drink on in a big way, as you might expect, but also like people are starting to use breakout rooms, throwing. Cross out Erica for my list here. Um, People brought only Connect games, Jeopardy games, and that is true on Saturday night and Friday night. Mike Shank, whom we just mentioned, brings homemade Jeopardy. His stuff is so good. The guy is just a god tier puzzle writer and editor, just a straight up puzzle genius. Quick story about Mike. His first day as an undergrad at Penn State, he walked into the office, the editorial office of the Collegian, the school newspaper, and he said to them, I want to write a crossword puzzle for you. And they're like, great, what day? And he goes, no, every day. And he did. He wrote a crossword puzzle every day of his undergrad career. I mean, the guy's got a Mozart tier, you know, touched by God level of skill. And anyway, among other things, his Jeopardy game was great. So no sooner do we knock out Erica's Friday than who had the Saturday New York Times? Kareem Ayas. This guy was everywhere. Every time I turned around, there he was. And I didn't even realize it. I mean, there was so much going on, but wouldn't you know it, Kareem had the Saturday. And now, in my continuing attempt to catch up with the puzzles that we missed from the crossword weekend, let us take a look at that. Thank you, by the way, lurkers and chatters, one and all. I'm going to take a sec to knock this thing out. I'm going to block the chat for a minute. And Kareem, what do you got for us? Do I dare set a goal? The Friday was pretty quick. Not sure where this is. Let's say eight. What do we say? 4:15 for the one because it's April 15th. Let's say eight. Let's double it. Dose. Let's say our goal is 8:30. I will be right back. I'll do French, but no, maybe. Already slowing down. This will help, however. Ah, that is one of the three musketeers, y'all. Would that be the root part? I love that. Oh, that's a yellow, but that says a lot. Fair enough. Ah, it's actually right. Steered well clear is wrong. I just wasted valuable seconds on that attempt. The Salinger version of that. Don't love that. Don't love this either. Nest. Be Oh, this is like commercial. No, this is this. If that D is wrong, then mouse is this. Seeing it. Can't maybe. Syrian. The party maybe. Could be this. Ah, good thing that took me forever. That's gonna help. Can't get it going here. Unlike that Friday by Erica. This is don't have it. Ah, and yet I still don't have it. Presumably. Not loving that. Maybe. Ah, nice one. That's a great clue. Fooled me. Just cannot see what is going on here. Guess we got to go over here. Could be that this is, what kind of a tree are we talking? Are we gonna meet our goal? Is it? Oh, call, oh my God. I thought it was like a bird call. All right. That took me most of forever, but it's over now. It's this, and like this, y'all. Okay, not great, but not terrible. Nice one, Kareem, and great seeing you, Kareem, at the CrossFit tournament. Enjoyed that. I don't want to go super long tonight. We're already been going an hour and a half. I mixed feelings about continuing. We have caught up on a lot of the stuff that happened during the tournament. Maybe I'll call it a day there. Um, Ben Zimmer. I mean, Ben, if everyone's hanging out in the stream of friends of ours, it doesn't quite feel like the same. What is it on Crash Blossoms? Yeah, Ben, I feel like I've lost some of our friends to some of our other friends, and like it just feels like we're getting diluted. And honestly, what I wanted to do here is to shout out some of our friends who are at the tournament. Actually, you know what? I skipped over in my frenzy to knock out all these New York Times puzzles. What I didn't do, well, but let's say let's do it now. We've only been going for an hour and a half. That's not crazy long, but our friend Brendan Quigley, who is a fellow judge of Ben's and mine at the tournament, on Thursday, April. No, wait, this is the day. Let me get to Brendan's Thursday. I think here it is. Brendan wrote a puzzle celebrating fast solvers, and this was Brendan dropped this thing, as we kids say, on Thursday, April 9th. And that's the day that I had the pleasure of hanging out with Ben and Brendan as we started our volunteering efforts at the CrossFit tournament. So that was great. But little did I know at the time, and I didn't, that Brendan had written this. Okay. Here he talks about, I have not read this yet. Crossword Con tomorrow. That's right. Our friend Brooke had our big crossword convention Friday morning in Manhattan. I caught some of that online. Ben Zimmer, Ben gave a great speech about grid spotting, like the crosswords that you see in like TV shows and movies. That was great. Other speakers did a great job as well. Got it. Okay, Brendan had oh, this was fuzzy. This was funny. Brendan says, you might have heard that I've got a puzzle in this year's tournament, so good luck. It's funny. Your best bets to see Brendan are in the judges room in the bar. Your third best bet is his room. I love that. I got my share of Brendan time. The guy's amazing, quite a character, hilarious dude. And Brendan was a fellow judge with Ben and me. And during puzzle, I think it was puzzle two. Apparently, this year's puzzle two was tougher than usual. I'm pretty sure that was Brendan's. And Brendan kind of whispered in my ear. He goes like, "I crushed the room." Like maybe he didn't mean for it to be that hard. I was amused, but I'm sure everybody liked the puzzle nonetheless, Brendan. Let's get the clues back going here. Let's take a look at Brendan's puzzle. We'll see. Maybe this will be the last one for the night. Maybe it won't. But yes, Brendan, an invaluable crossword constructor, beloved by everybody. As you can see, this is not exactly Brendan's first rodeo. 1,800 puzzles and counting on this blog. That is nuts. I think he started this blog in like the 1990s when like blogs were like barely even yet a thing. Anyway, yeah, enjoyed hanging with Brendan and Ben. And what the hell, let's turn on the clock. Should we do this downs only? Ben, what do you think? Ben, has anyone here done this one? Is this thing? I mean, we're making a pretty good time. Tell you what, let's just for kicks, let's start by, if I make this thing narrow enough, we'll hide the clues. Let's start with a look at the down clues and see how we do. This thing is called Speed Demons. And he linked to it on the more recent puzzle, which was like Mondays. And I think he was referring to like, I think the Speed Demons is like somehow having to do with people at the CrossFit tournament who go really fast. But let's see, it wasn't Giuliani, it was Pataki, the New York governor, 9/11, I think maybe. What is this? No cap? Is it serious? Is it? Wait, let's say the yellow light's on. Feel free to help me as long as you keep pace with me. Yellow, y'all. Ben Zimmer's favorite song. All right, let's keep looking at the downs for a hot minute. We don't have to do this downs owner. Downs only like hardcore, but array could be right. It's sign out of the night. I think that's right. Jen Kirkman, I believe. Don't know. Present tense, past tense. Don't know. Number 47. Oh, that's an across. I don't know. Inability. Don't have it. Could be right. I like the S. It would be really helpful if we had the clues for these circle-filled answers going across, but this is the life we chose. I want this to be, but that is clearly in Denmark. It's not Westminster Abbey. Couple letters will hopefully be enough. A mean guy, cute. Can't type. I not loving the SF at the end of 23. Nor do I like this. Something here is wrong. I think it's this. Not looking at the clues when I accidentally miss. What is this? Is this go time at 28? Is this dank? Perhaps not seeing it. Sean Lennon, Sean, oh no, Tennessee Valley Authority. I don't think I love the B. I think IO is good at 35 across. It's weird, but Iowa Works Progress Administration. What is this? Iowa State. Iowa. Just don't have it. Wait a minute. If this is meant to be like super crossword speed solvers, then this is clearly Iowa, or this is clearly Eric Agard, in which case Iowa Garden. What's a strong weed? Don't know. Let's figure it out. Maybe this is right. Maybe this is the problem. I'm the problem. Yeah, that SF was, this is legit. Feel free to solve with me. We're doing downs only. If you have any thoughts, jump in anytime. What's 28 across? I don't love the looks of that either. If this is a speed solver, oh, it's David Plotkin. Okay, saw 7 letters. It was Will Nediger. This in turn looks like Paulo Pascal. All of a sudden, we're getting a ton of help. Nediger, 50 across, Hinman, Fair. Dan Fair's got to be in here. Is this him? Probably. Oh, how do you ignore the zillion time champion? This is F, and this is that. Dan, thank you for your many contributions, including right now. If that's Nediger, and I think it is, then what? Goal scorers? What? Don't know. If this is David Plotkin, and good for you, David Plotkin, for finishing in the top 3 of the CrossFit tournament. Don't know who this is. Oh, Tyler, of course, Hinman. Let's do that. To be honest, a line maybe looks very plausible. Bad egg, maybe. Thin man. Problem is, he's written. It's probably Brendan has probably written some wacky clue, like thin manners or thin manatee or whatever. So if we don't get some of these, we got big problems up here. What's 8 across? Is it Punta? Is it Jamba Juice? When we figure out what 47 is, we will be able to figure out 11 and then hopefully knock that out. This is Issa Rae. Cute name for her company. Not seeing that. Oh, we've got another crosser person here. And well, if it isn't the great Will Nediger, that's an E, that's an R, and that's that. Diego Rivera, this is an I. Irvin Kershner directed Empire. How did a guy direct a movie that huge, never to be heard from again or before, for all I know? This is a G. Is this like your arm? Tapas coach at 43. Impasse. Army greeting is a hot wood. Sure. Got it. Tennis yacht. And then this is goal scorers. This is an R. So just not seeing that. What is happening at 50 across? Can't even find the word break. Ugh, don't have it. All right, this is dad's. I mean, anything could it be anything other than that? A and W. What is this? Gerbil. Well, it ain't NATO in Brussels, but what is it? Something Digerati. So this would be A and W, and this is N. I want this to be like, it's not FIFA. I want it to be like some kind of like NATO or like political. Brussels, Belgium. How about the something? H is a problem. I lose, maybe. It's not the UN. How about the You could be right. If that isn't A and W, then what is it? What kind of root beer? You got your Devs. You got your Barks. I don't know. It's all about 61 across right now. I just don't see that. Plot kindness, apparently. This was right after all. Goal scorers are not to be Garden, but what is it? Iowa go time. Starters? Don't love that. I don't like an A there either. Wait, this is Eric Agard. Strikers, y'all. Let's try this. And then go time. Iowa strong weed. Keto? I don't feel like that's an E. Okay. Endo. Driving down the street, smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice, or what I call a Tuesday morning. All right, at least we got this part filled in, but we got more work to do. Something exactly, Jamaica, you know how I roll. Timeshare and era. This is the second time today. Eon, I'm not wild about GIRI. Pretty sure this is how Urban Kirchner spells it. Timeshare. If it's is this not tennis? This doesn't even have to be a T. Hmm. I mean, if it's not tennis, what is it? This is an S. NS blank S. It says Asahi beer. It's starting to feel like it is because, and yet, wait, I, I lose or I give. Either way, this is, I'm not wild about this U in the bottom either. The UN, it's something like that. The European community, would that, could that possibly be right? So this is either I give or I lose. I don't like the V. All right, so if that's right, is this an E 61? If it's the something, then either way, that 61 is ugly gets. We're gonna have to try to go over here and then get back over here. What is 67? Thayer, Prayer, Slayer. Well, we just saw that an I. Was a hieroglyphic symbol. Did we not see that a second ago? Where does this leave us? Cease working. I don't think idle. Tire, I don't think quite works. Oh, it was right here. Oh, he's got two hieroglyphics in here. Is that what's going on? This could be like an asp. No, Dan Fair's got to be. Dan Fair, always doing Dan Fair things. Let's try this. If only some of our buds hadn't defected here, because I could use a little help. Jamaica, see anything that looks plausible? Feel free to shout it out on a yellow light. Is this the vineyard as in Martha's? Running out of clues. Something Digerati, but what type, I ask you? Wow, that took forever. something, no. Falling sound. Plop. Is this awe? Hell no. Hell no is good, except it's 5 letters. That's the, I know, I want it to be a hell no also. What's befall at 15? Befoul. I mean, is there a Swiss name for anything in 3 letters like an Alp? I don't think those letters are gonna work. Thin man, thin manners, thin manuals could be right. Is this a U? Is this an L? 47 across has an inability to finish things. These letters are right. So is this some sort of a character in a book? Not seeing it. Olaf, Olav. Maybe Oslo? Is that a saint? There's got to be something that makes sense. Tapas. Oh, the Cape, as in Cape Cod, is what we want there. Papa's coach could be. This could be Olaf. Even so, it could be a proper name like Enesco. I've oops, I didn't see it. Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. If this is alibi, would have to be here, I guess. The cathedral city, I want this to be Bath. It's not Emerson. The type of digerati we have here is just not obvious. Cows, cowl. Just not seeing that. Well, tragically, I want this to be an N, some sort of no. Is this Jenga? Is this henna? Xenia? Feel like this should be enough to get this English cathedral city, and yet I don't have it. 47, I want this to be even so. I don't see what else it could be, but what's going on here? Man, do I want this to be Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yet, if it's not Olaf, it's got to be right. Something Dunblane, something Bane? No. Oh, Bank at Kane? Well, I didn't turn, oh, I did turn the time around. We're 17 minutes deep. That's not terrible for a Downs only Brendan, but we're not done. All right, I am running out of runway. I'm running out of clues. This is an S. So this is either like a C or an H or a T. Cease working. We came close, but I just don't. I mean, it's like go dead. Is it tire? I don't love tire. What's 62 across? Something bent. I mean, this FEYER is peculiar. Not seeing it. This I feel has to be this. Something even timeshare is an era or an eon, but does that mean we have a problem? Similarly to that. So I thought Irvin Kershner was the guy who directed this movie. So is this Diego Rivera? Obviously is right. So is this Tetris? What game other than tennis has faults? Oh, and a blank at 71. I don't like Eon there much better. I don't like GIO at all. Assuming there's a right, then on Onan. ONAS, I don't like either. If it was Eon, I don't like that either. All right, well, it's neither of those apparently. A minute, a second. All right, life is short and we've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. Let's see if we can land this plane like this. Um, Actually, we can keep the grid big and just use all the clues anyway, like this. All right, what is going on with these acrosses? Head cases are, don't see it. This was right. This was right. Papa's coach was actually right. So cowl, I don't know if I said it, I'm certainly thinking it. Nevertheless, even so. So what was this about number 47? Oh, it's Trump. Ugh. Ah, I swore. Um, Trump always chickens out. Then maniacs. By tying this to number 47 in the grid, I really got to go off that one. Junta, but be real. Adjective. Be real. Well, that's Swiss. Sure, I believe you. This and OMG, no. Yep, yep, yep. Jamaica, well done. You got it. This cook with gas. All right, what is this Digerati? Non-sane, yikes. Oh my God, it's St. Albans. I was just killing myself trying to think about a letter word. All right. Well, Brendan, with your clues, it's easier. Part of Armenia's capital that has no crime. If I could only remember what Armenia's capital was, that would really help. Safe Yerevan, is that? I can't even remember. That. And, aha, that's what we're doing right now. Cease working, halt. Layer was not thinking about that. Strew. Got it. This. Gigi Hadid. Age. This was this. What the hell? Don't see it. That is, I think. I am super not into that. Maybe because that's wrong. Ah, the EU and what? That's legit. Inuit. I quit. What is this? NSA HQ. Oh my God. There was virtually no way to get that with only the down clues. NSA HQ. Good night. Brendan, if we weren't buds, but we are. Nice one, Brendan. You win. Well, you know, it wasn't Brendan's fault. I chose to go downs only. Okay, I think I'm going to raid our friends Nora Sharp and Will Eisenberg. We're streaming now, I believe. I think some of our buds have wandered over there, which I completely get. They're fun streamers to watch. Nora, is she still streaming? If so, we'll raid. If not, I'll pull the plug. Are they at it? Are they done? Oh, maybe they're in her friend LeBron Swanson's stream. Sorry, this is I don't usually there's no one streaming when I or that I'm aware of when I like pull the plug. Are they still at it here? Sorry, this is a very very blah way to end the ride here. But you know what? I'm gonna bounce over there. Let's raid. Thank you all for joining me. Not sure when the next one will be, possibly this weekend. I did not do a super great job of describing the CrossFit tournament, but we did bounce around, describe it a little bit. I hope you had fun if you were at the tournament. Next year it's in Philadelphia, end of April, beginning of May. Go to crosswordtournament.com for all of your I wonder about the crossword tournament related needs. Ben, I can't help but feel a little upstage and overshadowed, but in a good way. You know, gotta love Nora, gotta love Will. But yeah, things got a little quieter when they got going, which is fine. I'm gonna raid them. I can barely do this right. At raid LeBron Swanson. Am I even doing this right? Slash raid. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Bear with me, y'all. Wow, look at the people who are multiply. Nobody was talking, and right when I'm talking about how nobody's here, it turns out people are here, or people are in multiple ones. We're gonna land this plane in under 2 hours, not quite. But I don't mind calling it a night here. It's been 2 hours, it's been a lot. Work has been very busy this week, and it will continue to be. I'll be working this weekend. Maybe I'll take a minute to knock out a little mini stream, but visit Chet Sellers' stream, 2 puzzles in about an hour every Saturday and Sunday morning. Chet, is that not your brand? Let me try to figure out this rate. Well, if slash raid LeBron Swanson is a thing, then maybe it'll work. Thank you once again for joining me. Chatters, lurkers, nice mix of people in here tonight. Appreciate you stopping by. See if this works. All right, it is happening. When does my stream end? Honestly, I have no idea, but we're about to find out. Like, am I still streaming? I don't know. Is the raid happening? All right, here we go. I have to click a button. Okay, see you guys soon.
Good job. Oh, Bass is here. Hi, Ben Bass, and anybody that you brought with you.
Hi, Raiders.
Hi, Ben.
What were y'all?
Do we have any pictures of Ben since Ben is here that we can share?
I don't think so.
Oh, Ben Zimmer, we were stalking your Facebook page for pictures.
I know that. I think Chet had a picture because I know that Chet and talked a little bit. Two amazing streamers.
Yeah. Oh, look at that one with Bobka. Hi, Bobka.
My stream is apparently ongoing.
Hi, Bobka.
I raid so infrequently that I have like no clue what is going on. Yep, I'm still here. Okay, I'm gonna pull the plug. Thanks for joining me. It's like, I'm not even in my own stream. All right, I think I have to go back
Ben
to Zoom.
rated and was already here. Ben.
Wow. We could just like let the
What's
audio
going
from
to
these
see
guys
these
stream.
guys again?
No, we'll call it a night. Thanks for once and for all. Thanks
The
for joining
picture
me.
that's behind Dan.
Talk to you guys
the
soon.
banner that's hanging up there.